only way I can keep up with where we stand is to go ahead and consider committed, not spent, but committed at the time we make a commitment.
Mhm. So if we're doing that, then some of these commitments we made 2 years ago would have been on 2 years ago commitments. We keep adding up, what I'm afraid we're gonna be doing if we keep going with this accounting method.
I guess Hancock brought this point a while ago, if we had another Ford Street incident, another major repair like that, the city's responsible for it. We need to make sure we have a cushion in there.
No, you're getting me the wrong way, I think. I'm not talking about the money, I'm just talking about the accounting method and the dates that we're putting on here. If we're gonna get an accurate report, I feel like we shouldn't have dates on here. We should say, hey, this is committed for sure, not a question mark. This is what we got committed. Period.
The question mark is dealing with the dollar amount. I do not have a new grant put together at this time to be able to tell you exactly what I'm
Then it don't go on
requesting.
there. I feel like.
So you want me to wipe out the 76,000 and not do the grant?
If you have a question mark beside it, and unless you're saying it's committed, that we can get $76,000, as far as an accurate report, it shouldn't be on here unless it is committed.
So we wait till January till we're approved for the grant before we consider it?
We've talked about committing ourselves to these things in the council, and we've got to be prepared to spend that money.
I'm not.
It's just an accounting method,
Yeah.
it's just, we can break it down and say, this is what we have spent, this is what we plan to spend, and this is what we plan to bring in. We can have 3 different columns, it's just trying to make sure that everything we have is clear cut and,
Exactly, that's
and
all I'm asking
easy
for,
to see.
just
And
good,
yeah,
accurate
it's not
information.
anything on you at all, it's
No.
just
Wow.
trying to look at a different way of doing it.
You know, committed's actually, we're approved as May, it's set aside, it's done, it's what we're hoping to get.
So,
And if you don't get it, then we know we take that number
That
off,
might be our column, our 3rd column.
just to be accurate. We're asking for accurate reports, I feel like that's to make it accurate. Just a simple accounting, wasn't anything ill-intentioned. So, okay. As far as my report, I'll just make it simple this evening. In your packet, I would like to ask for your approval to appoint George Canusis to the airport board.
I won't stand for that voting.
I understand.
So moved.
Good choice.
Second.
We have a motion and a second. Is there a discussion?
If you're willing to do it.
All in favor say aye.
Aye.
All opposed? And 1 abstain. All right. As far as the, I don't think you mind me saying this, but as far as the city's budget reports, the clerk and I, we discussed a little bit today, and we're going to try to get on a statement of revenue and expenditures, try to get it to where we were wanting as far as the changes we have asked for in the budget, reflect on the statement of revenue. Just be patient with us. Clerk is coming to new positions, you all know, so we're just gonna have to work through some paperwork. And the audit is
and all that.
So the audit's yet to be completed, but the clerk is getting that motion. Any kind of questions for me? Since not any, we'll move into the city council reports. Finance would like to start.
We discussed everything we had,
Okay.
we don't have any for last month, so.
Okay. Public safety?
We haven't met since the last meeting, but I think Director Malloy has some issues he'll bring up in his report.
Okay. Street?
We pretty much covered the street stuff before.
What else? Nick, what are you doing? What's that?
I'll
Human
have-
resource.
We'll have something put together by the next meeting.
Wonderful, wonderful. Is that everybody? I cover everybody?
No,
No? What?
well, I mean, as far as the public safety committee, but, you know, we've been doing some research on expanding or enlarging, improving the dog pound.
Mhm.
And I don't have everything pulled together. I've got prices for concrete, I got a meeting tomorrow with Mr. Montgomery about building additional, fencing or putting up fencing. We have 7 rolls of fence left over from whatever projects and storage at Mr. Hancock's printing office, and, anyway, we just got a lot of work to put together, but we have been working on it. And so hopefully by the next meeting, we'll have a recommendation from the Public Safety Committee on what we can do to enlarge the dog pound.
Okay.
Also, I made mention last time, I don't know whether it's false, but I gave you a aerial view of a part of the airport and the property out there. And on behalf of the Fair Board, when they widen the bypass to 5 lanes, there's gonna be literally no parking along the highway. Whereas now, if you're out there at fair time, you know there are thousands of cars that park on both sides of 412, all the way from Walmart to, if you wanna say, down to the old Kmart store, and whatever, way down the road. Anyway, the black line, if you envision going down Tico Road, to the far end of the Reagan property and turning in there onto the airport grounds, there's a section of bean field right there that, we're hoping that we can talk to the city council into, allowing us to pay the cash rent on that for the crop, but use it, sow grass and whatever, use it for a parking area. And then that other black line that runs back to the north there would be along the edge of the property, and then hit George Street and take Harmon Street right straight into the fairground. Which would be a shuttle service provided by the Fair Board. Anyway, they're just speculating right now.
And as far as mowing, I think you mentioned,
Yeah,
Fair Board take care of
we
mowing,
maintain it, yeah.
maintain it throughout the year.
But they're, right now, it's still up in the air. I mean, hopefully the city council will approve our taking that, and I don't know what our contract is with the current tenant, Mr. McVeigh.
The last contract that I have expired in 2013, which means he's on a year-to-year rental, which means that he's on it again for 2015.
He's already signed it for 2015?
No, he's on a, he's year-to-year, without a contract. And when you're year-to-year without a contract on farmland, you have to give notice to vacate prior to November 1. So, he's on it again for 2015,
All right, so
unless he voluntarily relinquishes.
you linked that 8.9 acres or whatever it calculates out to be there.
Would that prohibit him from farming the rest of the ground?
Oh, no.
No.
It's a much bigger piece, right?
Yes.
There's about 20 acres or so there.
Well, would it be fair to ask the council to basically give their blessing for this, and then the Fair Board can negotiate or talk to the farmer? That way you know at least one hurdle is maybe not officially, but is over.
There's gonna be another hurdle inbound. It needs to take this plan to the airport board and because FAA may say no.
Yeah,
we
the
can't
FAA
let
will
you-
have some setbacks.
You know, so we can't let you have that.
That and there's some fencing all around the west side of the airport
Yeah.
that will have to be taken down in order to be able to access the George Street.
Yeah. Yeah, I understand.
And I'm not sure if the FAA will allow that. So that's something.
So there's some,
that's
this is just phase one. of
Okay,
the
so
process.
you really don't need the council's anything right now, any kind of approval or disapproval?
Yeah, approval to proceed,
Okay.
To ask permission from the farmer.
yeah.
He would be in state control, correct? Obviously, or, no? Fair Board, maybe.
Doesn't have direct financial interest.
Okay. So, is that a motion, or is that would you like to make that a motion, since you can vote?
Yeah. Let's make a motion that we approve this for the Fair Board use.
Pending airport property, or airport board and FAA.
In farming.
Okay. We have a second. Discussion. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
All opposed? Motion passes.
And Mr. McVeigh, is that, still Dickie Dobbins has got that, he's got it.
Leroy.
Leroy, in this next office.
Now, that's, normally the clerk's office takes care of the renewals. So I don't think there was one last year. I'm almost positive there wasn't one during the second half of 13 and first half of 14. So that's one of those things that kind of got missed in the changeover back over a year ago.
Okay.
All right. That will conclude the committee reports, department reports. Mr. Carter?
I covered most of mine. You'd asked at one point in time for me to talk to the contractor about looking at 3rd Street.
Yes.
He will when he gets down here. We've also played phone tag with another contractor that has talked to City Light Gas and Water about some work with them. And then I've contacted another company that now says that they'll do on-site visits and possibly demonstrations. So that's kind of, we're making progress, but I don't have anything done on working on 3rd Street storm drain down there where the street's collapsed.
Okay. That's it. Any questions? Chief?
Real quick, was informed of an upcoming event. I think Mary got a little information on it, but I found out some more today. July of 2015, there'll be a U.S. Army medical mission. It's kind of, rather going to foreign countries and doing their training, they're doing them now in areas that have been designated as low income and people that need assistance. And this is being coordinated through the Delta Regional Authority. And they're gonna come in, I think Kennett, Malden, Sykeston, Charleston are some of the designated areas. They're gonna come in for about 3 or 4 days, and they'll be providing free medical services, things from vision, dental x-rays, dental exams and extractions, prescriptions, and things like that. What this is gonna do, in talking to some others, that last year there was multi-states that were involved, we'll probably have to look at least providing some level of security for this. Because I know over in Hayti, there's over 3,000 people that attended. Now, not all of them were people getting services, but it was family members that come in and stuff like that. So I made contact with, I think they tried to contact Jim Payne, who's no longer here, and so nobody was aware of it. But I will be inserting myself in future meetings by myself and Deputy Chief Dennis to make sure we're aware of what level of security we might have to provide. What I envisioned from talking to other Sykeston was at the meeting is probably 2 officers being here for over a 3-day period during the hours of their services. So as we find out more, we'll bring it back to let you know. But it's something we do need to plan, probably looking out in the next budget. But they give some examples of different things they've done for people, and one of them was the vision test actually detected a tumor in one individual and probably most likely saved his life, you know. So it's, a lot of times a lot of us gripe about seeing our tax dollars go overseas and doing things, and this is a chance where they're actually doing something for people in the area. So more to come on that. We had a meeting with a group of individuals that are creating a Crime Stoppers program. They've already got the 501c3, and there's really don't at this point in time mention the individuals that are involved in it, but they are organizing it, getting it together where the 501c3 allows businesses or individuals to donate money, and then there's an independent board that would take a case or information provided by law enforcement that they could put out there where maybe they're getting on a cold trail or don't really have any good leads, to allow people to anonymously call in and give information there's not a payout unless there's a conviction. So it's more than just giving information. The case has to make it through the court system and a verdict is rendered. And if there's a verdict rendered, you know, against the individual, then they determine the level of the information, how good it was to the case, and then the board, the independent board, recommends a payout from the donations. It's worked in other areas of the country, and it is a national program. In light of, it's been ongoing even before we had this rash of home burglaries. I think it kind of helped kick it a little more to get it going, but it works well in other communities, and you just have to, it'll be up to members of the police department to get information where it's a worthwhile case, or bring older cases out that sat for a while and try to get new information. And I think it'll be up to them to keep it going, a viable program. So I think it's worth doing, and there was a lot of participation and positive results from the people that were there initially. So we'll give you more information on that. Connie, you have anything you need to add? No. Okay, David? One other thing we'll mention, we run across, and it was a problem that we didn't anticipate, and I've looked into it. Apparently, when the office building over there was closed down, it was a police station, and they had to consolidate and move out to the county 911 center for a while. Apparently, in the terms of computer, we were given an IP address that actually was an IP address that was assigned to the county. And now that the county's expanded their offices out there at the Justice Center, they needed more IP addresses, and apparently one of them that we were using was actually assigned to the county. So they changed the IP address that we had, and it kind of screwed some things up that we weren't aware of, like our reporting system and stuff like that. So we've had to kind of get that straightened out, and it's kind of threw a kink in us a little bit in getting some of the, we use a telephone paging system to notify supervisors, and even a backup to our paging system for the fire. Text message comes over your phone, that went down. Some of the, what was it, reporting system that you guys used was down, so I think it's pretty well gotten straightened out now. But it was just one of those oversights that when we moved back here, we weren't aware of what had really taken place. But I was able to get with City Light Gas and Water and find out what the root of the problem was. So hopefully we got that straightened out. Any questions?
Thank you. Well, is there anyone who'd like to speak to the council this evening? Seeing not anything, anybody else have anything? Meeting adjourned.